Mike, the builder, is starting to build his staff. Kind of came out flat with a hire of Nathaniel Hackett as offensive coordinator. But are we warming up to the hire? And also, who could be in at DC? How about Mike Garrafolo giving us the latest on LaFleur staff options?
Yeah, PHNX Cardinals is live from Radio Row with our friends at Big Brothers, Big Sisters. Show starts now.
It's media night.
All the players talk to the media, and it's a circus.
And now you're here.
We are back here at Radio Row. Thank you for hanging through those technical difficulties. Hit that like, and today, so important because we're giving back to our friends over at Big Brothers and Big Sisters. Check it out right now. Become a Big Brothers, a Big Sisters mentor today. But this is a big day out here. We talked to some heavy hitters about the newest era of Arizona Cardinals football, and can't wait for you guys to see those interviews.
No, it did not trip over the router. This happened. The whole complex was down. We're back, though, and better than ever. Hit that like button. Back in time to talk about Nathaniel Hackett.
Right.
Was that poetic that the Wi-Fi went down when it was time to talk Nate Hackett? Maybe.
Yeah.
But we had an emergency podcast earlier today. Big thanks to everybody. Hit that like who checked that out. So we're going to continue to break down the Cardinals coaching search. Mike LaFleur not wasting any time, bringing over a confidant, a friend, not only of him, but his brother once upon a time, Nathaniel Hackett. This isn't an interview. This isn't a request. This is a straight-up hire. He has joined the Arizona Cardinals staff as offensive coordinator.
Yeah, heavy title, right? I mean, to get back to the offensive coordinator spot after taking a year off being a quarterbacks coach down in Miami, this is a good opportunity for a guy Nathaniel Hackett. But at the same time, you know, the Arizona Cardinals, I think that they were going to know that this was going to be a bit of a polarizing move, but it was a move that Mike LaFleur and his camp deemed worthy enough to set himself up for success in year one as the Arizona Cardinals head coach. The same offensive play caller, or non-play caller in this situation, just like with Matt Hackett coming in, he's going to be kind of an administrative guy. He's going to be setting up, helping with game planning, and collaborating with Michael LaFleur year one and maybe beyond.
You know, people are calling me shill boy. People
That's
say,
what you are.
yeah, I am a shill boy. I'll shill for anything, any product, any company. But I do think at the end of the day, the more we talk to people, the more we understand the optics of the situation, this is very much a support hire.
Yeah.
Like, the analogy that I would use is like, think of a backup quarterback that just goes and is as a stabilizer for a new head coach. I think that's really what Nathaniel Hackett is going to be for Mike LaFleur. It's important to point out, he's not calling plays, he's not the head coach. I think if you're using examples of his time in Denver, very unfair. Didn't work out with the Jets. But again, like, what is his role? I think if you analyze what his role is going to be, I think he can do well in it. I think he can come in and be the continuation of, like, players love him. It's a good guy. He's got good vibes. And again, like, we're not going to sit here in midseason and be like, well, the offense is struggling because of Nathaniel Hackett. It's going to be because of the guy who's calling plays, and that's Mike LaFleur.
Yeah. The one thing I can kind of understand, though, is the fan base's maybe disapproval as far as this goes.
Totally fair.
Because when you see a LaFleur hire from coming directly from Los Angeles McVay,
right,
you see that he's worked with Shanahan for as long as he did, and obviously who his brother and Matt LaFleur, you're like, oh, we're going to get some sizzle here, especially on his side of the football, even though we know Mike's calling plays, and then they deliver Nathaniel Hackett, and it just kind of comes in a little, I don't know.
The tweet comes out this morning, and it's hard to grasp like the magnitude of the situation.
Like Hackett is a very memeable guy.
He is, and it just, the people know the perceptions. Everybody that we've spoken with, from Garrafolo, who you're going to hear from here in a little bit, like, everybody gets the optics. But again, it's about, number one, trusting your head coach, and then also putting him in a position to succeed where these other franchises have not. And a lot of people scoff and say, how are the Cardinals going to do that? This is the role that Mike LaFleur knows the most about. He held this role with Sean McVay. So I would have a pretty good assumption that he knows whether or not Nathaniel Hackett can do that role.
Sure, no doubt about it. I mean, he's a guy that's been, part of the support crew for Matt, and then now is going to come in and be that for Mike.
Yeah.
So
it's a support hire.
Yeah.
Now,
once you peel back the onion a little bit on this one, once you look at it a little bit closer, and he's not going to be anywhere as far as from a play calling standpoint close to that, dialing them in and sending them in. LaFleur is going to handle all that, and you want to see what that looks like.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Not to segue here. Is this the replacement for the veteran defensive assistant? Because, and again, this could we don't have this information. This could have very well been the plan the whole time, that they were going to hire Nathaniel Hackett. In fact, this suggests it because we didn't hear any other names rumored, right? I like Dave Ragone and people like Shieldhouse maybe coming over. Those names, it was never an interview. There was never, a courting process that we're aware of.
Right.
Is this, he's been a head coach before, unsuccessfully.
15 games, yeah.
He has been an offensive coordinator in the NFL 5 times. This will be his 5th time being an OC. Is this the replacement for Gus Bradley? Is this a replacement for Wink Martindale? And then, in turn, when you look at the candidates defensively that they're bringing in to interview, now they're going on the opposite side, which I appreciate because I like these defensive candidates we're going to talk about much more than the alternative.
No, I think it is. I think it absolutely is somebody with experience, a ton of experience, has been around the league. It was Baldy that we'll point out here on the show coming up. Brian Baldinger is going to join us.
Yeah.
Is that his dad coached at the NFL level? Hackett did. So, you've got guys with extremely large support staffs. And have been around this league. Like I was getting to. When you look at it a little bit closer, it's not going to blow you away. It's not going to wow you. It's not going to inspire a ton of confidence. But I think it's it also it shouldn't be as polarizing as it initially came off.
An offensive coordinator is a prominent position in the NFL.
Yeah.
If it was any other position, offensive assistant head coach, offensive assistant, QB coach, wide receiver coach, quality control offensively, But the 3 biggest hires on your team are OC, DC, and a head coach. Obviously, this is something that they wanted to put pedal to the metal. I don't need to keep banging this drum, but I feel like Matt had Nat Hackett as his OC when he first got established. And clearly, the LaFleur brothers think enough of him to say, go out to Arizona and replicate what you did in some way, shape, or form for Mike now.
Yeah.
And again, there's no way we can sit here and say it's going to be some huge success, but I've talked myself off the ledge based on mine. I think our initial reaction was fair. It was the consensus of the fan base.
Yeah.
You peel back the layers more, it's a fine hire.
Yeah. You just wanted something with a little more juice.
We used all of our juice on LaFleur.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Can we ramp that back up? Is that something that you can continue?
You get a refill, Capri Suns, maybe? I don't know. Let's talk a little defensive coordinators.
Okay, let's do it.
We're going to get to your super chats. I would ask people, because of our donations today with Big Brother, Big Sister, if you're so inclined, make a donation down below in the YouTube stream. It goes for a great cause.
Spend very little on the super chats.
Yes.
A $1.99 super chat gets read just as well as a $20.
Use abbreviations if you want to shorten it.
If you want to donate to this show, donate to this great cause with our friends over at Big Brothers, Big Sisters. It's our day of giving, and it goes back to a great cause. There's competition out here on the floor of Radio Row at the Super Bowl.
I want to win.
I heard CHGO put up a big number today. I want to best that. I don't want to tell it to you because I just want you guys to get out there and give whatever you can, and we'll see where we come up before the end of the show.
All right, Mike Garrafolo, who's going to join us a little bit on the show, reported 3 names, one of which was first reported by Albert Breer on the show. He's just sitting to our left now. Cardinals are looking at these 3 candidates. Defensive coordinator, Charlie Bullen, who is the interim defensive coordinator for the New York Giants this past year. People, by all accounts, said he did a nice job. Defense got better. Okay, he's been retained by John Harbaugh, not as the DC, so likely as the linebacker coach. He gets an interview. Aubrey Pleasant, who would be my personal favorite, DB coach for guess who? The Los Angeles Rams, worked under Chris Shula.
Yeah.
Okay. And then lastly, Dino Vasso, that was reported on by Breer on our show yesterday. DB coach, has been around the NFL for some time in Houston, Texas.
Yeah.
So those are the 3 candidates. Your initial reaction to that?
It's very similar. What it gives you the opportunity to maybe replicate what Jacksonville was able to accomplish last year, and that was lightning in a bottle. That might be the exception.
Mm-hmm.
You might not see a young new staff like that come and have as good of a first year as they did under Liam Cohen with Anthony Campanile and then Udinski, who was one of the rising stars on the coaching carousel circuit this year. So I like it. I mean, I think, it's when you see a retread hire at OC, but you understand that he's got a limited role, more of an administrative and a support staff. Yeah. Then it's like, okay, let's take a swing at somebody on the defensive side that has some upside, that might be able to make a name for himself.
And you just got a higher floor with these guys, or a higher ceiling, with these guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like what Shula and that staff for LA did was good up until the final game they played. And then, Houston, who was just fantastic, top 3 defense, all season long. You want to kind of tap into that. As far as Bolin, that's probably my least favorite.
Well, the sex appeal with Pleasant coming from the Rams,
right?
And you saw that he got interviews. He was a finalist, I think, with Baltimore for their DC job. It's a name that the fan base has known, has heard about. I think that's the one that gets you fired up. I mean, Dino, there are people analytically that speak highly of him. Yeah. That, I mean, every unit, here's what I'll say about Aubrey Pleasant, who I like. Yeah. I'd love if he was hired. The Rams' worst unit on their defense was their DBs, but it was that personnel. And then you look at Dino, and it's like every level of that Houston secondary or defense was elite. Now he's working with Stingley Jr. and the guys, so I'm with you. Now, if Bolin gets the job, you're really going to have to go and do a deep dive into some of those final games for the Giants and how he performed. Here's what it tells me, though. If he's been retained by John Harbaugh, that means he's done enough good, because they've outed most of that staff to stick around. And so, is he better than Nick Rawls? Nick Rawls, I've got this wrong. I thought Nick Rawls would be a part of this staff. The longer the hiring process has gone, it's clear that they are going to pivot off of Nick Rawls.
They're llooking for an overall fresh direction, the entire coaching staff. Right? And we'll see if there are any holdovers. You had a guy like Bolin, who was in this organization at in the Cliff years, 2019, right, to 2022, was it with Bolin? Yep. And you saw some pretty decent sack numbers from those years. I mean, obviously you had Chandler Jones, you had Hassan Reddick pop year. He was able to get him under in his position group, take him out of the off-ball side and put him off the edge again. Yep. And it worked out for him. Yep. So there is a history of performance there. But if I had to rank them right now, as we're looking at 3 candidates, I'll go with Aubrey Pleasant from the Rams. Yep. And then I'll go with Dino Voss from the Texans, and then put Bolin as a 3rd.
Yeah, I agree with that. Pleasant, to me, weaken the Rams, take away their coaches, right? I mean,
go full Ben Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, Ben Johnson hoarded away multiple coaches from the line staff, and really they didn't recover. Yeah. Coming up around the corner, continued conversation from Radio Row, our interview with NFL insider Mike Garrafolo on the very latest on Nathaniel Hackett, Mike LaFleur, and more. Keep it locked in. It's PHNX. Keep it locked in with our friends at Gila River Resorts and Casinos, my home away from home. It's tough to be away from Phoenix when I'm here. San Francisco's treating us well, but I always tell my wife, I said, forget Hawaii, forget California. I need a staycation, and I need it now with our friends at Gila River Resorts and Casinos, specifically Wild Horse Pass. We had a banner year. Yeah. Cardinals didn't win many games on Sunday, but I was so fired up for our watch parties, our turnouts, the food, the vibe at Wild Horse Pass is immaculate. I can't wait to do a staycation again. We did one with our families last summer. Prime Ashula Steakhouse, first class, 5-star dining. And of course, you've got the phenomenal poolside views, the mountain views, and of course, the largest sportsbook casino in Arizona. The hotel, the luxury, it's on par with anything you'll see in a 5-star resort on Las Vegas Strip. And again, it's a home away from home. You get to hang out in Phoenix. You get to hang out at Wild Horse Pass with some of the best people and the best vibes around. Go all in with 4,500 slots, live table games. Go big or go home. From upscale to approachable, casual to classy, from bar to bar, none. You do you. Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Visit playatgila.com for more details.
Now that the football season is nearly over, it's time to take on that project that you've been putting off. And the best place to do that and team up with our friends over at the Window Depot. It's a one-stop shop, kitchen, bathroom, or full remodel. They've been serving Arizona since 2002, and while they started out with only doing windows, that's not the case any longer. They're more than a window store. We're talking windows, we're talking doors, skylights, cabinets, countertop sinks, you name it. You can find tons of inventory in stock and ready to pick up with Window Depot. Contractors love them for their job site ready quantities, plus expert service and no membership required, while homeowners, do-it-yourselfers like my guy Johnny here, they love them because of their in-house designers are free and help bring your vision to life. Do it right now. Visit thewindowdepot.com, like the Ohio State, and you will get on to your next project today at thewindowdepot.com. We're hanging out today at Radio Row, trying to get more information on this staff, and looking for the insiders. There's plenty of them around here. Talked to one yesterday, Albert Breer. We talked to Baldy. He's going to break it down from an X's and O's standpoint. But we were able to catch up with our guy. This is the first of many appearances coming up for a guy, Mike G. Mike Garrafolo joined us out here live on Radio Row with the latest on LaFleur and his coaching staff.
Who's back? It's Mike Garrafolo, NFL Network, friend of the program.
Yes.
We're so fired up to catch up with you. We haven't had a chance to talk about Mike LaFleur yet. Your reaction to that with the Arizona Cardinals?
I think a great hire. It's got to be a hire of patience. It's got to be understanding that there's going to be some short-term pain for all the reasons that we've talked about. I mean, what are you doing with Kyler? And if you're moving on, these salary cap and financial implications. The fact that you're in a division with one team playing on Sunday, the other two teams almost playing on Sunday, making the playoffs. To me, I was, especially when he left without a deal, and you're going, does Michael LaFleur go, I'm out? I'm just going to go back? But the thing that I've mentioned is he's been an offensive coordinator before with the Jets, parted ways, so you sort of have to take it when you get the chance. So I think for the Cardinals, for the way that it played out, probably as best as you could do at that point.
He said he appreciated how they went through the process, that they, all stones didn't go unturned as far as that goes. But looked like he was interested in maybe a Gus Bradley as his first hire. His first hire actually is Nathaniel Hackett to come on this staff. So just like Matt LaFleur, he brings on Nathaniel Hackett as his OC to start his head coaching career.
Yeah, I love Nate, and Aaron Rodgers loves Nate. There's good. He's
Why'd
been
you
through
say
a lot.
that?
Which part?
Aaron Rodgers part.
Oh, you think Rodgers could wind up there?
Should we think about that?
You never know with him. I wouldn't think so, but who knows? Because Aaron knows ball, right? In the end, Aaron knows ball. Yeah. And I thought he got a bad rap for a lot of things that happened in Denver, even into New York, where Aaron didn't get to play long enough, or the way that they expected things to happen there. 4 plays into the season, he goes down. I'm sitting in the press box, and I turned to Judy Batista and I go, I think he just tore his Achilles. He stood up and went, I said, he just tore his Achilles. Grabbed my stuff and I ran down to see, what was happening down there. Anyway, that's a story you didn't ask for. I like Nate. Nate's a great guy too. He's an honest guy, and so from a media standpoint, you guys are going to love that part of him. And give him a chance to. I mean, Mike's already confirmed. I'm just calling plays. I thought I saw that, but there's been so much going on. It's been flying by. So he'll call plays. So it's an OC job underneath a play caller.
What about the defensive coordinator role now? We saw Pleasance getting an opportunity to interview. I think that's the kind of juice that this fan base would want. Because we assume you get Michael LaFleur, are you just hoarding assistants from McVay's staff? But then we saw they had ties to maybe Wink Martindale, and then initially wanted Gus Bradley. How do you see that playing out?
I think they're in the early stages of this. You could see a number of guys that are interviewed, because now there's a couple of jobs that still need to be filled, but it's not like that great rush at the beginning, so you can sort of take your time and do it the right way. I mean, Combine's going to be here before we know it, so you don't want to take too much time. But Charlie Bolin, definitely a guy that is extremely highly thought of with the Giants. One of the few that they actually held on to, was at some point an internal candidate to be the defensive coordinator, but in the end they go with Denard. For Aubrey Pleasant, I've heard nothing but great things about him as well. It's a great coaching staff with the Rams. It really is. So to be able to pull a couple of guys if he can is going to be huge for Michael LaFleur.
They were looking at New York's special teams coordinator as well, right? Wasn't he tied to, is it Goldbling or?
Oh yeah, I forget, Gabriel?
Gabriel.
Yeah, Mike Gabriel, who was thought of high, but Harbaugh got his guy in Chris Horton to go up with him there.
So let's fast forward to the end of the month. We assume Kyler Murray is going to be gone. Mike said all the right things publicly.
Yeah.
Your gut, do they cut him or do they trade him? Can they find a trade partner?
I find it hard to believe, just because with everything you're going to have to take on with regard to that. I mean, do you eat some of it some way somehow to help facilitate that? Maybe. So my gut at this point, and you get better answers when you get around the combine. But you get better answers. My thought right now before we get those answers is that they'll probably cut him. I mean, the financial implications are what they are. But then what's the, forgetting the numbers offhand, what's
it's
the
like
trigger
20,
for the next year?
Yeah, $27 million guaranteed at like the start of the league year. There's
for 27.
Yes. Yeah. So they have to do it by
5 days into the league year.
So
they got to move quick, mid-March.
Yeah.
So when we look at a timeline on this, you mentioned the combine. Is that when conversations really start to go?
And you take it up as far as you possibly can, up until that last possible point before you have to make that decision. So those conversations will be had there. We'll be having the same. You guys are coming Indy, right?
Yes.
We'll be having the same conversation there, and maybe a little bit more clarity there. Just knowing his agent. And you remember the contract negotiation the first time around, and how it got ugly and how it got public. I would imagine he's going to dig in and say, no, you know what, we're not going to let you guys dictate it. Because that's a lot of times, when you have the power as a player, it's the financial part of, you've got the security, but you've also got the control and the ability to dictate where you're going to wind up here. So I think that's going to be a huge part of it for him moving forward.
Real quick, we'll get you out of here. Jacoby Brissett is kind of the remaining guy in that room. Do they add? Do they bring in a Jimmy Garrafolo? What's your best guess, considering it's not a great QB class?
Yeah, you're going to find guys that you're comfortable with that you could potentially bring in. I know Jimmy likes LA a lot and liked being with John McVay. And
sure.
I remember early in the season when we talked about Matthew Stafford missing time and saying it's not a bad backup option that they, and he had options in Miami. There's another one that he had that I thought he was going to wind up at. So Jimmy had a couple options, but decided to go back with the Rams. Maybe the chance with LaFleur and more of a direct path to a starting could be something that draws Jimmy there. We'll see.
It's like a Seinfeld episode. Jimmy likes LA.
Jimmy's been watching the Cardinals. Jimmy likes what he sees from Mike LaFleur.
Unbelievable stuff. It's just the beginning of Mike Garrafolo rejoining PHNX Cardinals.
Just the beginning. Gonna hold some in the back pocket for you later.
Great stuff from our guy Mike Garrafolo, who's going to be joining us throughout the course of the off-season with the very latest on Kyler, Mike LaFleur, and more. We're coming up with Brian Baldinger. Stick with us right around the break. Stick with us with our friends at Circle K. I told this story yesterday. I got to double down on it. My son had a phenomenal flag football outing. I said, son, we can go anywhere. We can do anything. He said, I want to go to Circle K. It's a true story. And I want to get a Polar Pop, and I want to get candy, and I want to play video games. I said, that sounds like a great day. And it's always a great day with our friends at Circle K. We have this stigma, this motto of, it's a gas station, we'll get good gas. We'll get cheap gas, right? Think beyond that. Think beyond that with our friends at Circle K with some of their promotions. The 79-cent Polar Pop, the 99-cent Froster, or how about this? Last night, I paid $15 for one Michelob Ultra. You can get a Michelob Ultra 16-ounce right now at Circle K, $1.50. Buy two, get one free Monster Energy drink. I need this right now. I haven't been able to find any food here today at the convention center. If there was a Circle K around the corner, I'd be dabbling with my favorite meal deal matrix, the $3 meal deal, hot dog, tornado, select Frito-Lay's chips, a Polar Pop up to 44 ounces. We're eating good at Circle K. You can too. Join the Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for more details.
We're getting closer and closer. It's time to start building your betting docket for Sunday.
Yes.
And if you haven't already, it's time to cash in on the perks of utilizing the Bet365 app today. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary with Bet365. I've been loving the early payout offers that they've got, NBA, NHL especially, 17-point leads in football. It could happen on Sunday.
Yeah.
I mean, Seahawks looking pretty feisty there. Right now, breaking news from Bet365, new customers get $200 in bonus bets when you just bet $5 win or lose. Just sign up, use the code PHNX365, and when you deposit $10, place a bet for $5, get a $200 in bonus bets win or lose. Download the app, use the code PHNX365, and see for yourself, whatever the moment, Seahawks, Patriots, Suns next opponent, check out the odds up on the board at Bet365. It's never ordinary. Must be 21 years or older, physically located in AZ, and if you or someone you know has a gambling problem, give a call to 1-800-NEXT-STEP. That's 1-800-NEXT-STEP. But download the Bet365 app today and use the code PHNX365. It's a new era, Arizona Cardinals football. Go from Jonathan Gannon now to Mike LaFleur. Who better to break it down? How about Baldy's breakdown? Brian Baldinger joins us here live, Radio Row, at San Francisco's Super Bowl 60. Unbelievable.
It's unbelievable, bro. I mean, honestly, I was here 10 years ago, Super Bowl 50. It was Denver and Carolina, and I just saw Von Miller. He was the MVP of the game. I can't believe 10 years gone by like that.
Yeah. We can't believe we made it through this season. And I would say not unscathed.
Yes, right.
As we're sitting here. And
there were casualties.
Yes, before we get to Mike LaFleur, because we're going to pick your brain on, we haven't had a chance to connect in a minute. What would you say is the biggest reason why Jonathan Gannon isn't the head coach of the Cardinals anymore? Based on just tape analysis, what you've seen, what would you think would be the biggest rationale?
I didn't feel like the team improved this year at all.
Yeah.
Like, it looked like there was an arc. They could run the ball. There were some things they did in the first couple of years. They had some good defensive moments against some good teams. San Francisco, big wins, some blitzes here and there that, hit at the right time. I thought they were improving. I thought the roster was overall, better to start the season, and then you just didn't see. We saw the collapse, but we didn't see a team take another step. And, you're getting your third year. The team's got to take a jump, and it just never happened.
They were the last team to hire a coach. They get LaFleur. They had him in, the week previous before actually pulling the trigger on the hire. What is your initial thought on it? We got the feeling of this is probably the best they could do, realistic option for them.
Well, I mean, he obviously his brother has had a great run in Green Bay.
Yeah.
And I know Mike has been around, when things didn't go well in New York, but it didn't go well for anybody in New York. Nathaniel Hackett, any of the coaches there, Robert Saleh, none of it went well. It looked like it was a good staff. It just never. I mean, obviously Aaron's injury didn't help anybody, but I felt like he got caught up in all that. He got you come back to San Francisco, you kind of get rejuvenated.
Yep.
And so we'll see. I don't know what he's going to be like as a head coach. Some of these guys are coordinators at best. He really hasn't had that role very much. So I got to see what he's going to be like in this role.
Well, he's leaning on a former assistant of his brother in Nathaniel Hackett, who's just announced him as new offensive coordinator. And while there's sticker shock to that hire for Cardinal fans, given what's happened to Nathaniel over the last couple of years. However, Mike's going to call the plays. It does feel like this is just, and you tell me how you read this, Baldy, added experience and somebody who's been through it. I mean, this is his fifth OC job, Nate Hackett.
Yeah, no, I mean, I played for his dad, in Dallas a long, long time ago. So I know Nathaniel a long time. It wasn't really fair, what happened in New York. But that's all part of it, though. Things go wrong, and you can't develop a young quarterback in Zach Wilson. His tenure got cut short.
Yeah.
But, when he was in Green Bay, they had a good run in Green Bay with Aaron. And Aaron swore by him. It didn't work out well in Denver. But it's not to say that, the ideas and his ability to game plan and to put together, I've sat in the film room with Nathaniel. He understands the game. He knows how to attack. He's got, the plays. He's got the design. He's got all that stuff. Can you get a quarterback right now that can handle all of this stuff?
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest question. Look, it seems like Kyler, it's inevitable that he's going to be elsewhere next year. Where do you turn? I mean, it feels like there's very few of these options every year, but this seems even smaller of a pool to take from.
I agree. I mean, I don't know after Fernando like who's the number. It's early. It's early in the whole process. But I don't know after Fernando who's the next guy.
Yeah.
And so, we saw the draft class 2 years ago just explode.
Yeah.
And all these guys, Bo and Caleb, and these guys are taking off right now. Even Cam Ward had really. I know they didn't win a lot of games, but you could tell he's going to be a good player in this league. And he's a heck of a competitor, and he can make all the great throws. But I don't know if Jacoby Brissett is just a guy that could be a stopgap to find a guy, because he played pretty well for much of the time. But that's not what you want to start and build with right now.
Right. Let's look at the rest of the roster, Baldy. And we've talked about it ad nauseum. Monti Ossenfort has made such premium investments on guys like Marvin Harrison Jr. and Darius Robinson, and it just hasn't come to fruition yet.
No.
Who's the biggest benefactor of this hire, in your opinion? Is it Marvin, to just kind of get a fresh start with a new coaching staff?
It can't hurt, but players. I just feel players got to play regardless. Great players can excel regardless of the circumstance. Now, the receiver needs a quarterback to throw him the ball, but Marvin has not been what Jackson Smith and Jigba is. He just isn't.
Fair.
He's not that guy. He's not what Emeka Buka was this year. He hasn't been that guy. He's had flashes where he looks very good. He doesn't look unstoppable.
Right.
He doesn't, and Darius Robinson has been a bust to this point. I know the injury didn't help to start with, but sometimes, it's 2 years in and you haven't really seen him make any impact. And so I don't want to you got to give him a third year, but when you're drafted that high in the first round, you got to be an impactful player.
Yeah.
And that's not happening right now.
Yeah, it's been a tough season. That they exposed the Cardinals a bit roster-wise, where you thought you had the rebuild in the rearview mirror, and you continue that. All that being said, with LaFleur, what's the proper infrastructure you have to have in place to maybe put him in a position? We're not talking success of going to the playoffs. That doesn't seem very realistic. But how do you put him on the right trajectory out of the gates?
Well, it's got to start with the offensive line. You've got to build that. That's what San Francisco has done. That's what Seattle did. That's what the Rams have done. They built both sides of the trenches up through the draft and through free agency. And they're stable at that position. That's why whether it's Brock Purdy or whether it's Mac Jones, they can come in and have success.
Yeah.
And so, Seattle went out and got Graves Abel. They've drafted, Big Abe Lucas, and they've drafted Charles Cross. They've invested in guys that are largely healthy and stable and good players.
Let's look ahead to this Sunday. Who do you like in the big game?
Well, when the seedings came out on January 4th, that Sunday night, Seattle was the number one seed in the NFC. They had beaten San Francisco Week 18. I like Seattle from the beginning.
Yeah.
From the very beginning. I thought the roster, the young players, the coaching, the quarterback, I thought even if the quarterback had moments where the ball got taken out of his hands or got turned over, I thought the team was good enough to overcome that. And then to see him play an NFC Championship game like he played, like you want your best game in that moment, and I think he has another moment like that.
Can I sneak this question in real quick? Because Kubiak has played such a huge role in getting that offense,
no doubt,
to the next level. And then what Saleh did in San Francisco, you've been on a show, you loved his work this past season. With those two guys exiting, are those two big enough exits to weaken the vision, maybe bring the NFC West down to earth?
Like it's not going to be easy to go find Clay Kubiak out there, where it just clicked.
Yeah.
And Jackson Smith and Jigba was a slot receiver. Now he's the league's best receiver.
Yeah.
And they moved him all over the place in games. He saw that. And he had the ability to put him in all these different positions. Like he had that creativity to him. I don't know the next guy who it's going to be, providing the Raiders sign him like we think he's going to be. Robert Saleh got the one thing about what Robert did was they were not the most talented defense by far.
Yeah.
But they played as hard as any defense in this league, and he got them to play hard, and that's good. Now I know they've replaced him. But it's not to say that Raheem is going to be able to do what Robert just did. So it's possible to answer that question, yeah.
Nobody better on Radio Row. It's Brian Baldinger. Follow, like, and subscribe. Baldy, thank you so much.
Yeah, my pleasure, guys.
Thanks.
Let's do it.
Great stuff from our guy, Brian Baldinger. We debrief, plus your super chats and more. Hit that like button. Let's get those likes up. It's PHNX. I'll tell you what I don't like. I'm not a big fan of flying as I get older. I love to travel. I love to go to all these fabulous places that we get to with our friends at ALLCITY, but I get uneasy. the only way that I can combat that is with our friends at Pure Edibles. Of course, Pure Edibles, not a cover-coated sugary candy company like all their competitors, right?
Yeah.
It's a real candy company. They're created in Flagstaff at Noble Herb Dispensary, the home of Pure Edibles. They're now made in Phoenix, Arizona. And again, the best part about Pure, outside of just the phenomenal feeling you get when you pop one, is that their effects are clearly listed on each tin, so you know exactly what you're getting. You know exactly what to expect. And again, I need them to fly. You might need them, I don't know, help with sleep support, as well as candies with uplifting effects derived by unique cannabinoids such as CBN, CBG, CBD, and marijuana-derived THC. And again, bite them in half. They're designed to be shared, ripped in half, easily shareable, easy to dial in your exact dose. Perfect opportunity. Check out one of their 130, let me repeat that, they got 130 dispensaries across Arizona that you can dabble with, that you can check out, whether you're new to the edible game or an experienced vet. I promise you, you're gonna like what you see with our friends at Pure Edible. Pure Edible products are available. One of their over 130 dispensaries across Arizona. Check them out today. The official gummy sponsor of PHNX, it's Pure Edibles.
This time of year always gets me nostalgic.
Yep.
Thinking about, you were mentioning the other day, the Cardinals in this game.
Yes.
And man, I vividly remember Larry Fitzgerald breaking free for that 60-yard plus touchdown.
Yep.
To give the Cardinals the lead, and the dog pile, the middle of the living room floor at the big game party that we were hanging out at.
Yep.
And it was unbelievable. And the drinks were flowing, and people were cheering, and they were flying and making a mess. But it was a memory that I always love. And the cocktails were flowing that day. And you know, Smirnoff is like synonymous with those memories as well. And make more yourself this Sunday by showing up, not being an amateur, and being a good guest at whichever big game party you're attending. Don't show up empty-handed, and Smirnoff is the perfect companion as far as taking it straight or maybe mixing up some unbelievable, legendary cocktails. They're gonna be like, oh, big time Johnny came. He was mixing up like his Tom Cruise in cocktail. Do it for yourself. Be legendary with our friends over at Smirnoff, and find all the great recipes you can on their website. We also ask, please drink responsibly. Dog piles, responsible. Other ways, it can be irresponsible. We ask you to drink responsibly, and don't forget to make Smirnoff a part of your game day experience.
Hit that like button. Let's get this bad boy up to 500 likes. We got almost 1,000 people watching live. We appreciate all of you out there as we continue to break down the very latest as it relates to the Arizona Cardinals coaching staff. It's crazy. We're here at Radio Row. We're having a phenomenal time. We're able to chat it up, chalk it up with a lot of our favorites. But it's like, at the end of the day, it's like, you guys just want to talk about this coaching search.
That's right.
And we've had a mixed level of emotions today. Number one, I really like the options of defensive coordinator. I think those are high ceiling guys. I think the Cardinals would be wise to invest in a product like that you could sell to your fan base. Like, this guy's from the Rams defense. This guy is from the Houston Texans defense. Yeah. That makes sense to me. I wouldn't let your concern or disappointment with how things ended with Nick Rallis, stray you from going with another young defensive coordinator from a winning program. And again, the more I think about it, it's like, is Nathaniel Hackett now the presence on the roster for Mike LaFleur from a veteran coaching standpoint that you don't have to, like, do we need to force Wink Martindale? Like, if Wink Martindale's the best person for the job, hire him. But if we're forcing it because we need somebody there for Mike to lean on, I don't know if that's the winning combination.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I would say that the likelihood of that is rare.
Yeah.
That you're gonna be able to recapture the success that he had with the Ravens in the late teens there, where he did for 2 consecutive seasons, have a top defense, and then had a top 10 defense in his third, and then went on to try to find success elsewhere that he hasn't been able to recapture, whether it's with the Giants, whether it's at the collegiate level. I just think, like, if you don't have to overdo this thing and make that overcorrection, because often with this, it happens, right? Where you go to the defensive side, the inexperienced side, and then you want to come back and say, okay, we're going to have a lot of experience. We're going to lean into that. Where I think like a healthy mix could prove to be beneficial for this Cardinals team. That, like we've been saying, like the 23 team, completely devoid of talent, where there is talent on both sides of the football. You just need to be able to harness and put them in a position for success.
It was the nice part about chatting with Mike earlier. There's a lot of good things. We're fired up to have Mike back in the fold this offseason. Is, they went out, they tried to get Gus Bradley. That would have been an immediate hire. Now it's like, okay, they're one of two teams, Las Vegas, maybe the Browns, that need a DC. They don't have to rush this. Now, you want somebody done soon because of the combine. It's like you could take the rest of this week and do interviews. You could make a hire this weekend or early next week, and you'd be fine. These candidates, I don't think they're getting any other jobs right now. So do your due diligence, bring them in, see how they vibe with the rest of the staff, and then, we'll probably get an announcement like Nick Rallis is joining the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, I would imagine that could happen before you even hire your defensive coordinator
that's true.
At this point. It's just because the writing's on the wall. And now you're seeing every major position, head coach position, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, special teams. It's a complete facelift for this coaching staff.
We don't have the official special teams coach secure yet.
Right.
We just had speculation, so nothing imminent there. And listen, the guy who reported Hackett yesterday, we were skeptical of, was on the money.
Yeah.
I mean, it's rare because
it's because at that point we didn't want to believe it.
Well,
it was like, don't mess with this mojo.
Yeah, and I also just think why didn't anybody else have that?
Right.
I mean, we had Albert Breer on our staff. I mean, he must be tied into Nat Hackett's agent.
Yeah.
But Nat Hackett's coming in here to be a support partner, to be a friend, to not call plays.
Right.
So I have done a complete 180. I was always going to give Mike the benefit of the doubt with the hire.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to get worked up about it. I'm not going to apologize for our initial reaction to it because it's a shocker. I mean, how crazy would it have been if we hadn't have seen that tweet yesterday and then it came out?
Yeah.
I would have passed out here on Radio Row. You would have had to resuscitate me. It would have been that kind of reaction. But I feel like that tweet was a good buffer. It was a good appetizer because we knew what was coming.
Yeah, brace for impact potentially there. It's not gonna win over the fan base, but and you're not completely talking yourself into it, because what are you talking yourself into? It's a support system. It's from everything we've heard, we've talked a lot. DNVR covered Nathaniel Hackett in his nearly full seasons as a failed head coach, that everybody loved the guy.
Yeah.
So if he's somebody that is going to be just there for administration and support, and then also collaborate as far as game planning, I can get on board with that. It's a heavy title for that.
Yeah.
But that's their choice. They want to do that. He wanted to replicate what set his brother up for success right from the jump in Green Bay.
Let's talk quickly, if we could, about the state of this quarterback room, because you see the immense amount of change that's coming. I'd ask everybody again, if you're able to donate to Big Brothers and Big Sisters, hit that like button.
Yeah.
I mean, Connor Hughes, who's crushing it for the Jets media right now, the New York media, put out something today that the Jets could be interested in trading for Jacoby Brissett, who, of course, would reunite with the new hire in Frank Wright as the team's OC. In an alternate reality, that was going to likely be Jonathan Gannon's offensive coordinator. Is there a reality in which we're sitting here in 6 weeks and Kyler Murray is gone, which we expect, which looks now more and more like he could be released?
Yeah.
And then also Jacoby Brissett is traded. What is the likelihood of that happening, given the fact that, I mean, it's not everybody's favorite QB room, but it's a QB room. I mean, then you're turning around and doing what? Signing Jimmy Garoppolo?
It is, in fact, will remain a quarterback room. I think you nailed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they still need the position.
Yeah.
That's a high wire act that I don't know, man.
That's a lot.
It's too dangerous, I think, to even walk when you're in such a desperate way already, right? I don't know. How would the fan base feel about that? Regardless of what Kyler's fate is, we have a pretty good idea of it. What do you think about the idea of parting ways with Jacoby Brissett?
I think that'd be tough for guys like Michael Wilson and Trey, who had a lot of success with him last year. But we had a chance to talk to a couple people this morning and then into this afternoon.
Yeah.
And I brought up, I just thinking about this from an optics standpoint, I brought up Justin Fry. And I say I would love to see Justin Fry get another shot.
Yeah.
And the response was it's just so different what they're doing. And can the same thing be said for quarterback? Jacoby Brissett was always Drew Petzing's guy. Mm-hmm. He had come from that system. It was very conventional. It's the kind of quarterback that Petzing was enamored with. Mm-hmm. That's why they moved off of Kyler to play him. Is that quarterback, though, somebody that LaFleur and now Nate Hackett are going to say, like, yeah, this is somebody that can produce in our offense?
Yeah.
I think the more the time goes by, you're just like, probably not. Like, I do think, like, if Jacoby Brissett's on this team this year, I do think it might be like a one-off. I don't know, man. If Jimmy Garrafolo makes it to free agency, everything we've heard is just like, could they pursue him? Could they get him to Arizona? And then you pair that with a draft pick.
Yeah.
And is that the plan
this
year?
Mike said, like, Jimmy loves L.A.
Yeah.
He's willing to take less money just to stay and,
be
close to the things he's comfortable
Jimmy
with.
Garoppolo would do very well in North Phoenix and Scottsdale. Don't you think so? I think you could talk Jimmy Garoppolo. It's not like he's going to Cleveland. I think Jimmy Garoppolo, this is like L.A. adjacent. And you don't have the taxes, and you could be a starter. I think, okay, if Jimmy Garoppolo wants to stay in L.A. and wants to be a backup, then that tells you everything you need to know.
Sure.
But I would inquire. I'd say, hey, Jimmy, how are you physically? If you could pass a physical, come here and be a part of this QB room. I'm all in. Just give Mike whatever he needs. Don't force.
You got to have that in place though before you make the move off of a guy like Jacoby Brissett.
They traded away Geno Smith before they signed Sam Darnold, but that deal was done. Like those kind of things can be worked out.
Yeah.
You can break all kinds of rules. And listen, like I don't even know if Jimmy Garoppolo is better than Jacoby Brissett. But if the Jets called and offered what for Jacoby Brissett, they have a high fourth-round pick. If they offered you like pick 103 for Jacoby Brissett, you're definitely taking that.
No.
What?
Because you don't have an option.
Well, no, I'm assuming you're getting Jimmy in that sense.
Oh, man.
Big Jimmy. Jimmy likes football.
Jimmy in a fourth-round pick? That's not enough to get me.
Some sports hero. Yeah. Garoppolo and Scottsdale's trouble.
Yeah.
It's great content for us, though.
It's a good selling point.
Hey, I saw Jimmy Garoppolo at Twin Peaks over the weekend. Nice. Hit that like button. We got almost 900 watching live.
I think it's close. I'm not trying to put Jacoby on a pedestal.
You've loved him.
But at the very least, you know what you're going to get. I don't know what you're going to get in the year 2026 of our football lords.
I thought we had an understanding when we tried to convince Seahawk fans to court them to Arizona when I used Jacoby Brissett as a selling point, and I got rotten fruit thrown at me by those fans.
I love anything where people are throwing vegetables and fruit at you.
We're going to bring on a member of the All-City family here, somebody who had immense amount of hands-on exposure to Nathaniel Hackett as a member of the Denver Broncos. It's our guy, RK.
That's right.
From DNVR, Broncos, DNVR Buffs, All-City. We appreciate you, my guy. So, the minute this news broke this morning, as he enters the Big Brothers Big Sisters big chair, check it out right now, and get those donations in. The minute this dropped this morning and the rest of us fell to our knees, it was RK, it was a gentle hand coming to our defense saying, it's going to be okay.
Yeah, no, I get the reaction. Look, it ended horribly for Nathaniel Hackett in Denver, and Broncos fans have a lot of feelings about him. But correct me if I'm wrong here, the Cardinals aren't asking him to be their head coach.
Correct.
Right? Correct me if I'm wrong here, the Cardinals aren't asking him to be their play caller.
No.
So what are they asking him to do? In my opinion, they're asking him to come in and be bring good vibes.
Yeah. Vibes check.
Chief Vibes Officer, Nathaniel Hackett. But I do hear you. As far as what Hackett can bring as a support system, as a non-play calling, maybe administrative offensive coordinator, you think that would he be a plus?
I think so. I absolutely think so. And I really think that he's going to have the experience of being someone who failed as a first-time head coach, that he can, say some of the things that he did wrong and how they could be better than. Like, the stuff that he really messed up with was, one, he really struggled with clock management. Yeah. That really hurt the Broncos. And then two, I think that he would probably say that he gave too much leash to Russell Wilson. Like, he wanted Russ to feel like he's the face of the franchise and everything like that, but he kind of let him get away with some stuff that when Sean Payton got there, he was like, what the hell is going on here? You're letting him just bring in whoever he wants in the facility and stuff like that. So those are lessons that he can pass on and say, hey, look, I kind of got a little too crazy with this. And then the number one thing that Nathaniel Hackett is amazing at is being liked.
Yeah.
And so, what we're seeing in Denver, and it's very different, but like Sean Payton kind of gets to be the bad cop. Mm-hmm. And then Davis Webb comes in and he's the good cop with Bo Nix. And I think that they can, they'll be able to play off each other like that. Nathaniel Hackett will come in, be a great vibes guy, be the good cop, and also bring a wealth of experience.
Talk to us about that offseason, because if I remember, Hackett was hired, and we were at the Combine. We had a chance to talk with him ad nauseum. It was the understanding at the time that the Broncos were going to try to trade for not Russell Wilson, but for Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
And that was a big reason why the hire was made.
Yeah. I don't know. It'll probably one day come out the real story of exactly how it went down and what happened. But, yeah, I think that when Nathaniel Hackett met with George Payton and they made that hire, I think George was like, wow, this guy's incredibly likable. And, like, even Aaron Rodgers, who doesn't like anything, likes him. And I think that they wanted to bring Aaron Rodgers in, and he was going to be the quarterback. And who knows how that would have worked. But I think that when that didn't work, and they had to go to Russell Wilson, and then, like, Aaron Rodgers and Hackett had this like great like buddy relationship, and Russell Wilson is just so weird that I don't think that they ever clicked in that way, and so it was odd, and clearly that entire experiment from all angles didn't work, and you can point fingers a million different ways, but I think that it's easy to look at a move like this and just like say like, ha ha, like stupid, you guys sat on the whoopee cushion type of thing. And I think that's like what a lot of people are doing, but it's just, you're not asking Nathaniel Hackett to do any of you're not really asking him to do much.
Right.
But be a kind of a shoulder to lean on.
Yeah.
And I think that he can be great in that position.
Feel better about it?
I do. Listen, anytime you see a tweet like that come across your timeline, like you're going to be like a little bit lost for words.
Yeah.
And you're going to say like, is this a byproduct of the organization? Like the more I think about it, it's like, well, clearly his brother had success with him as a first-time head coach, and Mike is trying to follow that blueprint. It's like, hey, I had Nate in this exact role, and it led to him becoming the head coach of the Broncos. It would not surprise me if, Mike and Matt were like, yeah, this could be of benefit for me in Arizona like it was for you in Green Bay.
But that has to be it, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's no way Matt makes this move if Mike didn't sign off on it.
Right.
As someone who worked with him closely, that's a kind of a benefit that he has of having a brother who's so deeply connected within the league. And the other thing is like, Nicky Jhabvala actually wrote a great article the year before he was hired by the Broncos about how he was taking this different approach to teaching and how he was installing his offense and all of his different stuff. I highly recommend people read it because I kind of think that article is what led to him bursting onto the scene as a head coach candidate, and then eventually getting the Broncos job. But he has a way that was really working well in Green Bay of approaching install and approaching teaching the offense that at the time was considered to be very different and kind of revolutionary from what anyone else is doing. And maybe they like that. Maybe I'm going to mess up this Mike thing. Maybe Mike really liked that and told Matt, hey, this can help you if you kind of go with some of the way that he teaches stuff.
Yeah.
There's clearly an incredible sense of conviction from the LaFleurs in Hackett and what he brings to an organization and to a staff. So you have to at least take comfort in that. And I just think where the fan base, where my initial reaction is, I'm sure Johnny's is when you get a guy from McVay who has ties to Shanahan and, of course, his brother Matt, you just had maybe higher aspirations.
Yeah.
And then you get this. But when you start to kind of look at it, it makes sense.
Yeah, well, and I think that there's always a chance in situations like this that you are essentially hiring someone for a year because you're late in the cycle,
right?
And you're saying, hey, next year with all the connections that you just mentioned, we'll like aim bigger.
Sure.
Not to say that Nathaniel Hackett can't be a solution here, but you also do have to remember that when you hire a head coach who is the play caller, it's not an exciting job for hot offensive coordinator candidates. You know, like that's you have your offensive coordinator already. This guy is just there to kind of be a helper for the coach because he can't be in every offensive meeting.
Like Peyton, you were excited when Peyton got hired, obviously because of the resume, and then he brought in, he just got fired, Lombardi.
Yeah.
Lombardi was a polarizing guy in his own right, coming off a couple tough seasons.
Totally. And when Joe Lombardi was fired, no one like even batted an eye.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it was just like, oh, right, he was the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, the offense
like,
is going to change.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So like, when you like that position is mostly, I would almost call it like assistant to the head coach.
Right.
You know.
And I think that's where we're coming to trying to find out. Yeah. But we also know,
better vibes.
I mentioned this earlier, who knows that role better than anybody? It's probably Mike LaFleur. He just did it for Sean McVay.
Yeah.
So it's like he knows what the job should look like. So who are we? Who am I to sit here and say like, terrible hire, this is embarrassing, what are you doing? It's like Mike's like, I'm an expert. I just did this job for half a decade.
Totally.
Yeah.
And so like I've known Nate Hackett for I don't know how long they've known each other. He's been an OC for 5 different teams.
Yeah.
He's been a head coach before. And a part of this too is like given the Cardinals where they're at right now, like Nate Shieldhouse probably wouldn't come in here, at least like on the surface level. So at the end of the day, I do think that I made this prediction earlier, RK, like we're gonna get to training camp and he's gonna become popular with the fan base.
Oh yeah.
And I think the fan base is going to use that vitriol that others put toward him and be defensible of him as a coach and an OC.
Well, totally. And he's one of those guys where he kind of has a shtick, and if things are going well, everyone's going to love him. And, you know, when you guys get your coordinator availability, he'll be like, this Hackett guy, he's such great vibes. He's so funny. We love him. And if things are going well, everyone's going to be like, I'm so sick of this thing that he does.
Right.
And that's just football.
Yep.
Who's the best guest you've talked to out here?
Ooh. We had Terrell Davis on today, and he was really great. I mean, that's obviously an instant, you know, we're talking about a Super Bowl MVP for the Broncos.
Yeah.
But we also talked to Jeff Garcia, who surprised me.
Yeah.
He had some great stuff. He really likes Bo Nix, and so that was a good one for us. What about you guys?
You know what? We had an interview with A.Q. Shipley, Cardinals color man, that's going to be on tomorrow's show. That was fantastic, and he was blunt but complimentary of like, hey, this is where they were to begin the hiring cycle. This is where they ended. Nothing matters in between as long as you get the hire right. And I think Cardinal fans, I think they can take solace in that.
AQ was great. I loved our time with Adam Ray, comedian. He roasted Johnny pretty well, and I can't wait. We're going to show that here by the end of the show.
Did you like it, Johnny?
I liked some of it. I didn't like the one part, but no, Adam's fantastic. We pulled him to the side, and he just, when comedians can turn it on, man, it's like, get out of their way. Like, I thought I could hang on air. It's like, he would destroy me in 2 seconds.
Where are we at on the quarterback? What's happening here?
I think they're going to cut Kyler Murray. We've talked to Albert Breer and Mike Garrafolo in the last 2 days, and both of them have said it's going to be very difficult for them to trade him.
Wow.
It's a Russell Wilson-esque kind of move.
Just reset.
Yep.
And then what? What do you guys want?
Yeah, we were just talking about the Hire Wire Act. Is like, would they even move off Jacoby and completely flush that room? But the options are so limited and so unappealing that you're going to have to really kind of find some diamonds in the rough. And that's a dangerous game to play. Even if you're willing to kind of set expectations and kick them to 2027, you still got 17 games to play and fill a stadium and get eyes on the product. It's tough.
What would you do if you were the Cardinals?
Man, I don't know. I mean, I have to think back to, I felt like I was in this position when the Broncos cut Russell Wilson, and I was like, there's just no way you can take the 6th quarterback in the first round. That sounds like such an idiotic idea, and now I've got a Bo Nix jersey hanging in my closet. So all it takes is the right coach believing in the right guy and it working. That I think you would take your chance on a young guy, but it's scary when everyone's it's such a bad quarterback class.
Yeah, I mean like Jimmy Garoppolo, Ty Simpson. I mean, that doesn't scream winning season,
Garrett
but
Nussmeier.
Here's what I do think they should do. Take some swings. Bring people in. Don't just say, we're going to roll with Jacoby Brissett because he had some nice moments last year, but inevitably a lot of it was fool's gold. Like, take a second-round quarterback, take a third-round quarterback, and then you know what? If it doesn't work out, next year in 2027, you're going to have a high pick anyway. Take a quarterback then.
Yeah.
I just feel like that's probably the most conventional route.
Unbelievable stuff in the big
Appreciate
chair
you, my guy.
from our guy at DNVR, RK. That's right. Check
This
them
was
out,
fun.
DNVR Broncos. And make sure to donate to such a great cause. It's our day of giving here on Radio Row. You guys have knocked it out of the park already. Continue to do so with your donations. It goes to Big Brothers, Big Sisters.
Tom,
Thanks, man.
yeah, of course.
Give Nate Hackett a chance.
We
Okay.
will.
All
I've
right.
already come around. I've been courted.
That's right.
My dad texted me this morning and immediately loved the hire. And usually, I feel like he and I are on the same page.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you talking about? And then as the day went on, I'm just like, damn it, you're right. This is the right move for this team. All right, we're going to jump into your super chats now. Full transparency, we did an emergency podcast earlier today. We've got multiple sets here, a lot of moving parts, pro athletes, whatever, no big deal. So we were unable to read those super chats earlier. So these are some older ones from earlier today. And again, they're full of emotion. Who wouldn't have it or any other way. Let's start with our friend Jenga Man, $2, saying anyone or anything is better than putts. # doorknob. I agree with that, and I would say like some, herky-jerky Lions reporter, Noah, get your guy out of here, was basically quote tweeting the announcement of Nate Hackett saying, basically, like, would you like Petzing back now? I bet Cardinal fans would. No, we wouldn't.
That guy, one of the worst guys on the app.
Yes.
Iron Will also checked in. Wasn't gonna drink today. Plans just changed.
Hey, let's go. We might be having a few cocktails tonight. If you need to have a little bit of what we talked about earlier, a little cocktail, a little big game cocktail early, to be able to say, hey, Nate Hackett's not such a bad hire.
Yeah.
You do you. Purple Ghost, $5. How do we feel about Mac Jones? I got a DM, I'm going to shout him out, from Graham Bryant, who's like, Johnny, why aren't people talking about Mac Jones? I just think a couple things. Everybody we talk to here is like, Niners don't want to trade him. Purdy gets hurt all the time. And then, what would be the cost to trade for him? A second-round pick, you're going to give up like the third pick in the second round, second pick in the second round. And then lastly, I don't think why would they trade him in the division?
Right.
It's a bad set of circumstances. Would he work? Would he be good? I think he would. But I also just feel like San Francisco clearly went out and targeted him for a reason.
Yeah. Maybe trying to remedy that mistake they made in the draft that he was in and Trey Lance was in.
Yeah.
Zach, how broad are Hackett's shoulders? That's how I would grade this hire.
Can he fill out a tank top or something? Is that what we're asking? Thank you for the $10.
Yeah.
I mean, if Mike LaFleur is okay with it, then everybody else, thumbs up.
Fleets, Aaron freaking Rodgers.
From a content standpoint and from a vibe standpoint, I would love that. We've talked to a couple people today that've thrown water on that. But listen, if he wants to play, he wants to go to Pittsburgh. And I think offensively, Arizona is much more capable than Pittsburgh. Now, they have a better overall team, and their division's not as difficult. But like Rodgers with Paris and maybe a third overall right tackle, and then the weapons that they have, like Breece, you add like a Breece Hall, it'd be a fun experiment to have.
AZ Moses, 89. Hackett was OC when the Jags went to the AFC title game with Blake Bortles.
He's been an OC 5 different places now. He's been in the NFL a long time. So, it's so funny. Arcade said like vibes guy, Chiefs vibe officer. Literally, that's what I was thinking in my head. But I'm like, well, we're not going to say that. But it's literally what he's going to be.
Yeah.
The vibes guy.
Yeah, he went on to say with Bortles, Rodgers back-to-back MVP seasons. He's not calling plays. He's got experience. I trust MILF.
I'm a big MILF guy.
Tim.
I trust him.
Tim P. Everyone's
vote a break there. No,
reaction reminds me of the water boy when he's disqualified. Oh no, we suck again. Chill, friends. In MILF we trust. Cheers from Denmark.
Thank you so much. I'm chilling. I'm having a great day. I'd love to see a certain Aubrey Pleasant DC hire coming soon. Then we're really back, but I do think we're going to be sitting around in August, and people are going to be vibing with Nate Hackett. It's crazy to say that out loud. I can't believe I just said that. Austin, $5. This is an admin hire. First-time head coach gets a guy next to him with good and bad experience. Advisor with a coordinator title. Good hire. I'm shocked how level-headed and smart the fan base is when we were freaking out earlier. That just shows you, smartest community on the internet, best fan base there is. Kudos to you guys, because it took us a minute to get there. We had to have 6 insiders tell us this is what the hire is. Stop freaking out.
Sure. How about Doc Miles? I know for a fact the Bullen was one that pushed Reddick back to the edge. He is going to be a great as a DC.
Wouldn't be my first choice. We have to do a deep dive again, as we mentioned, in some of those recent experiences with the Giants. But he's getting an interview.
Yeah.
And again, this is Mike's staff. Mike's got his fingerprints all over it. And unfortunately, if you're Nick Ross, I think your days are numbered in the Desert Bowl.
Yeah. This is Desert Vulture. LaFleur is coaching. I'm not overreacting at this point with his hires. Fans need to give him a chance.
I'm all in. I'm all in.
Yeah. And then Insanity Speed Labs. Let's see. How about Stoutland on the market now? Eye emojis.
I mean, he was the biggest sell in the NFL is the Eagles this year. No offense to our brother in PHLY right next to us. Fangio, Willie Irwoni, Sirianni, what's going on with their OC? I mean, it's a tough scene. And they've had him. He's been a staple what they've done. We got to get to some of these earlier ones. I think with Tim from Denmark, we've done some of these already. Let me make
we're in a
sure.
good spot.
Okay, my bad.
How about CM Young? For the first time head coach tasking himself with calling plays on offense, I'd rather we bring in a veteran experience on the offensive side of the ball.
That's a great point. We've talked about it. The better choice right now appears to be young defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
And Nate Hackett is sliding in to support System X head coach.
Yeah.
Don't hate it.
Yeah, Ranger. Bo hates all these free agents. What quarterback does he want?
You know what? That's a great question. Can anybody make this guy happy?
No.
Well, you were anti-Jacoby Brissett being the starter during the regular season, entering 2026, which I agree with.
I would be a Malik Willis fan.
What about a Jimmy Garrafolo? What about Kirk Cousins?
It'd be a tough sell for me. I'd prefer Kirk over Jimmy G.
I would too. But a lot of people keep bringing up Jimmy.
But, I don't know how I'd feel about the Creed on the practice playlist, but...
Does Kirk like Creed? Kirk Cousins like
I believe
Creed?
so.
Okay.
Nickelback Creed, it's kind of his jam.
Jenga, man. Did K1 tell Monti Ossenfort and Putzing they're as dumb as they are bald? I think Kyler Murray and Monti Ossenfort parted ways a long time ago, and I think it becomes official at the end of the month.
Yeah.
We had somebody came up to the podcast earlier today, and it's just the writing's on the wall. So I think the bigger disappointment right now is it looks like draft capital might be off the table. And there are going to be people who look at that move and they're going to say to themselves, how could you not get draft capital? You got to get a team to take on his contract.
Yeah.
And that's tough. But maybe Ossenfort, I think, could buy a lot of goodwill if you could get a pick for him.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That would be a big optics win.
I think we're all caught up with Super Chats.
Nope. I think Noah's loading us up.
Yep.
He's loading us up because you guys continue to crush it out there. We appreciate that. Make sure you're chiming in on this big day of giving out here at Super Bowl Radio Row. Thanks in providing more assistance to our friends over at Big Brothers Big Sisters.
I love this one. S. Toucher 92. How high would you draft Ty Simpson? I would take him at this point. Anything beyond like a top 15 pick, I'd be fine with it.
So getting back into the first round.
Yeah, or if like you traded down and you had like maneuverability. I wouldn't want Ty Simpson to be the team's first pick. And this is probably where I disagree with, some of the things that we've discussed here. I think the Cardinals need to pick the best player at 3. I think they've watered down some of these blue chippers enough. You're going to get a franchise-changing tackle or edge rusher. Just take that player.
Yeah.
And then come up. You're you're on the corner, you're on the edge of the first round again, the second.
Yeah.
If you have to trade up to get a QB, then do it. But I get it. You can't trade the 2027 one.
Yeah.
That's for damn sure.
Yeah, Simpson's an interesting prospect. Is he going to be a first-round pick? You know, a lot of people are skeptical about those 32 first-round grades he received.
Yeah.
You got, Nussmeier, who's healthy now. We'll see. We'll see what the pre-draft process does to this quarterback class. Can it kind of create out of thin air another option?
Abracadabra. Tank for Manning with my favorite avatar, $5. MILF with Arch. Who says no first? TD Manning to Harrison will feed families. I don't want Arch Manning because I don't want that to be the reality of the 2026 season. I'm pretty optimistic the Cardinals are going to be better than people think. I have no idea who their quarterback's going to be.
Yeah, that's why I'm not as optimistic as you are. I like the hire, but there's some big time moves that they still have to make.
Hey, check back in free agency. We've got more super chats and donations around the corner, but we had a chance to connect with Adam Ray, who's had a comedy special, phenomenal, and he was just in Phoenix. He's a big ball knower. We chatted with Adam on Radio Row. Here's our hilarious interview.
This guy's having a hell of a year. Adam Ray. Make sure you're following on all social channels. Go see him on tour. He was just in AZ, downtown to stand up live. And I mean, it's tough to beat this 2025, 2026 year for you.
Dude, we're having a great Seattle year. M's almost getting to the World Series. My folks almost got back together. Hawks are, shout out to my stepdad, George. No, we are having a...
We'll be right back.
We'll keep it right here. Oh, my God. Yeah, it's a good time to be a Seattle fan. I think there's always like a cloud over us, sports-wise. Once the Sonics left, thanks for bringing it up. Everybody kind of was like, dude, what's going on up in the Northwest? But like, John Schneider, exec of the years, figured it out. The M's just keep stacking, assets in the right ways. And but we're here to talk about the Super Bowl. So let's just make our picks.
Can we talk about the Cardinals first? So the Cardinals got their shit rocked from Seattle.
The St. Louis Cardinals?
No.
'Cause I don't think anyone wants to talk about the Arizona Cardinals.
No, that's our job. We do it every day. God help us. I mean,
Hey, man,
what would you do?
Here's what's great about football is like you guys, every team I feel like is always a couple players away. So
yeah,
you get rid of Kyler, you draft somebody, or you trade for Phillip Rivers, and you just like hit the reset button, and AZ is you guys have great fans, and you've housed a lot of Super Bowls, and
do you like going to Arizona?
Oh yeah, I love it. My wife's from there. I met her there. We got married in Scottsdale. I love it. She's got a great fam down there. She's got a super unorthodox older grandpa who's, I don't want to say he's full anti-Semite, but he's a big Mel Gibson fan. So every time I go down there, I try to avoid him and see the rest of the fam. But AZ rules. My Mariners spring training is always down there.
Nice.
I got to go down there and roast them last year, which was awesome. But yeah, what would I do as a Cardinals GM? I mean, new QB and just new direction. You got a new coach,
Kyler,
right?
Yeah. Mike LaFleur tapping into the Rams pipeline.
I think you do trade Kyler. I think you just got to you saw what happened with the Seahawks, man. We got rid of Geno and DK, and everybody was scrutinizing that decision, but it worked out for the best.
Now, a little bit of redemption. We're speaking about Arizona last Super Bowl between these two teams.
Yeah. What happened? Did something happen?
You don't want to talk about it?
Bro, you can't avoid it being here. It's like, I was just telling Pat McAfee, I go, it's kind of like if somebody, if your best friend, hooked up with your ex, and then you had to watch that video every year on her birthday. So, probably a better analogy, but that's what it feels like. But no, I mean, look, a friend of mine here, when you know that you're never going to get over it, there's a lot of peace in that. Yeah. And a friend of mine was like, dude, you win this and it kind of erases 2014. I go, no, it doesn't. It actually, it'll be awesome. And I feel very confident, but some people are making it seem too confident. So it's going to be a good game, but I think our D is just going to be too strong for Drake May.
You trust Sam Darnold on the big stage?
Oh, yeah.
He's had mono before.
Bro, I've known Sam. Hilarious. Yeah. Well, you've had HPV and you got through that. But there's, I don't know. Sam, I've known him, since probably come up on 8-10 years now. And guy's just like dialed in. He gets to the facility super early. He's just a pro. He's all about ball, and he's super smart and poised. And I think he's been around enough big games now to get over that hump where people, doubt him.
Enjoy San
I
Francisco.
appreciate you.
Check out Adam Ray Comedy, the tour it's going on. Thank you so much.
The Who Is Me tour, big theater tour, everywhere you go. AZ, we were just there, but we'll be back next year. But AdamRayComedy.com. And Seahawks, 30-20 or 34-10. or 45 or 43-8, reminiscent of the Hawks Broncos.
Wow, lots of
Hey, Jim
predictions.
Gray, big fan. You're a legend, man. Good to see you. Yeah.
Thank you.
We matched on Grindr an hour ago.
Adam Ray, comedy, flippant hilarious. I will never recover from that burn. You think you can hang with somebody on there and then lightning quick. I know he's a Seahawks homer, but Bo and I are big fans of his comedy. Had to get him on.
Yeah, and his wife from the Valley, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So, yeah, check him out. Follow him on social. He'll give you lots of laughs. The Dr. Phil stuff is...
Yeah, it's first class.
It's all time.
It's so good. We got some more Super Chats coming up here as Noah Man is continuing to shoot us all the notifications. Speaking of notifications, if you're so inclined to give back to our friends at Big Brother, Big Sister, we're pushing our friends at CHGO for the top spot, but we need you to help us get there. So again, if you're able to spare some, maybe punt on a Super Chat today and help us out. This is the one day we ask, and it would mean a lot to Bo and I.
Noah's got us loaded up with a couple Super Chats. How about our guy Ranger saying Jared Goff calls offensive coordinator Drew Petzing a home run hire?
That seems like a PR move. It's like, what else is he going to say? Hey, you know what? I think he stinks. Did you watch him in Arizona? He wasn't good. You've mentioned this before. Like, that team is so, into personnel-wise what Drew wants to do. If he can't succeed there, he won't succeed anywhere.
Look, he's going to have a lot more talent up there in Detroit, and you have every opportunity to be successful.
Yeah.
He's going to have a good chance of it, and he's going to be able to implement his system. What's it going to look like? And I think if it has some sort of success and it's hovering around, a top 10 unit, so were the Cardinals at one point. But, the question with Petzing is he going to be able to provide that opportunity to get to another gear, get to another level? And, Detroit, roster-wise, where they are as far as a franchise, they're going to want to break through at some point.
Yeah.
Can Drew, can he call plays with the big boys? Can he get in the back and forth in the NFC North with Ben Johnson and be successful in a shootout-type game? I don't know.
I'm Mr. Thomas, $5. If Drew Aller declares you can get him in the second round, I would do it. Let him sit a year to learn the playbook, run Kyler Murray back for 1 year. The latter's not going to happen. I could be talked into Drew Aller. I mean, he's a large man. I was impressed at times in Penn State's tenure. Obviously, the injury, the firing of his coach. He needs a fresh start, obviously. I don't know if I would take him in the second round. Let's see if he throws in Indy. Let's see how he does on the whiteboard. He's a project, though. But again, take a flipping this is the year to take a project. And preferably somebody that we know from the collegiate level.
Yeah, it's a day three option.
Fourth round.
Yeah,
we got more Super Chats, but first, all your donations. Let's do it. Noah Man.
All right, starting off, we got a new member, Big Chino Don.
Let's go.
Desert Vulture, $5 super chat.
Boom.
Iron Will, $20.
Boom.
Arizona Cardinals, $20. An anonymous, $20.
Yeah.
Airborne, $20.
Oh yeah.
Deborah
Salute.
Owens, $20.
Salute.
Panda with Wings, $10.
From way downtown, bang.
Pull the
Steven
ripcord
Jackson,
on the truck.
$10. Anonymous, $20. 77 Far North, New Zealand, $5. Cuff, $20.
Another dab.
Corey Barnes, $20.
Another dab.
Ranger, $100.
No one's stopping this freight train.
Rocker Vocalist, $5. Anonymous, $5.
Donation alert. $100
Anonymous,
donation alert.
$50.
Oh, eating.
Another anonymous,
It's for the kids.
$25.
Let's go.
Insanity
Salute.
Speed Dabs, $2. Sam went digital, $50.
Put CHGO in the dirt. Let's go.
Anonymous, $20. CM Young, $5.
That's class.
Anonymous.
You're not classy. Bragg who was applauding all of your super chats.
$50.
Boom.
Ranger, $5.
Boom.
Jenga Man, $2.
Boom.
Anonymous, $5.
Boom.
Tucson, $5.
Boom.
Stoucher, $2.
Boom.
Tank for Manning, $5.
Boom.
Ranger, $5.
Boom.
I'm Mr. Thomas, $5.
Boom.
Red Feather Workshop, $5.
Bab.
Arizona Cardinals, $20.
Bab.
Mr. Thomas, $5.
Bab.
Red Feather Workshop again, $5.
Yeah.
And then Ranger, $100.
Yes, Hyundai.
And then Brian P matched it with another 100.
Another 100.
Woo-hoo-hoo. All right, man.
Blown away by the generosity of this community.
It's all about, that's what it's for, man.
And giving back to their community with big brothers, big sisters. Of course, their location in Central Arizona. It's fantastic. So thankful for that. Love this partnership, this initiative, but I love even more people's willingness to give to a great cause like this.
Red Feather Workshop, Dana, with, I believe, our last super chat of the day, $5. If Hackett is the only graybeard on the staff, I will be worried. Not the culture, accountability fit I was expecting from an experienced hire. It's all really dependent on who will come and join this staff. They're trying. They're actively trying. I know people are going to call me shill boy here. I'm encouraged that they tried to pay big money for Gus Bradley because they're trying to spend money.
Yeah.
So let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's see what the rest of the staff looks like. You know they're busy working on it now, and let's check back in about a week to 10 days.
I agree with Dana, though. Like, I think you can have a primary play caller as far as the defensive coordinator be young.
Yeah.
But set him up with an old grizzled defensive line coach or something, or a defensive passing game coordinator that, as I said, is a graybeard.
Yeah.
Take that. I think that would be helpful for sure.
Somebody commented on one of my recent videos that I had a lot of gray in my beard, so I plucked them before this trip.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought I'd share that on air.
That's an incredible effort.
I couldn't get them all.
Oh, man, you
Stoucher.
did not.
No, $5. You guys think there's zero chance Mike wants to bring Kyler back for one more season? Seems like a big waste. I agree with the latter. It does. By all accounts, he will be gone. I think Kyler Murray and the Cardinals, everybody would benefit from a fresh start. Like, selfishly, I want him here.
Yeah.
I just feel like for Kyler Murray, let's see him have a second act somewhere else.
Yeah. Because the thing is, like, when you start to look at it, if he's on the roster 5 days into the new league year in mid-March, like, you got the guarantees already on the board for 2027. So it makes it tough, even though, like, you can make the argument, like, you're not going to need all that money, especially if you're going to go into the draft and you're going to have a guy on a rookie contract. It's just, I think you start the healing process this offseason.
Yep. 100%. You guys have been phenomenal. What do we got? Another donation?
We got a $100 donation from Shaft. Thank you, Shaft.
Shaft, a hundy.
That
boom,
brings
boom, boom.
our total today to $871.
100%. We appreciate everybody here. Hit that like button. Big day tomorrow. Kurt Warner joins the set.
Right.
We talk about all things Arizona Cardinals, including what the heck was Kurt doing at the presser?
Yeah, what are you doing there, Kurt? We need answers. We're going to get them tomorrow. As PHNX Cardinals continues our coverage from Super Bowl Radio Row, Super Bowl 60 in San Francisco. For Noah, Shane, Emma, and Johnny, I'm Bo. We'll talk to you guys soon, tomorrow.
We all silly like the mayor.